In the 5th year with Aaron, he proposed to me and promised a wedding of the century. I agreed without the slightest hesitation, eagerly awaiting the arrival of that day. The wedding didn't arrive, but his infidelity did first. When the female secretary sent me that pile of fruit photos, I still found it hard to believe. In the silent room, as I opened the delivery box, all that remained was the faint sound of my breath, almost at a standstill. I trembled as I threw the received photo to the ground, my whole body losing support and collapsing to the floor. With tears in my eyes, after all the tears had been shed, I fixed my gaze firmly on these photographs. 300 photos, all of Aaron in bed, completely naked. The woman in the photo is someone I know, Maya, Aaron's new secretary. Today marks exactly the 100th day since she started her job. The breath in my lungs was slowly being drawn away, and I bit my lip tightly, almost wanting to stop breathing. The next moment, the phone rang. It was a call from Aaron. I just finished a social gathering and drank quite a bit. I'm at the Houting Hotel, and my wife is kindly picking me up to go home. After we got married, in order to put my mind at ease, he would always have me pick him up whenever he went out for social engagements. The reports of coming and going from work, and the fact that he can always be reached at any time without ever going missing, make me feel that he could never cheat. It could be real, yet it is so cruel. I wiped away the tears at the corner of my eyes, turned off the screen, and didn't respond or go out to meet Aaron. I quietly put away the photos one by one, neatly stacking them and placing them in a hidden drawer. 2 hours later, he returned, reeking of alcohol, driven back by the chauffeur. The driver called, and I got up and walked outside to take his body. As soon as I touched Aaron's arm, he shook it off violently. "No sex today, my wife is coming to pick me up, get lost." After saying that, he stumbled and fell beside the car. I was about to reach for his hand, frozen in the air. The driver reacted, patted Aaron's face, and called him awake. Aaron was awakened, his eyes irritated, but upon seeing me, his gaze instantly became clear again. Wife. He didn't remember what he had said, and he opened his hands, leaning against me. The driver left with a sense of relief. At the moment the door was closed, he began to murmur his affection again. "I'm sorry, my wife, for making you wait so long. Don't worry, once this busy period is over, we'll have our wedding. I will definitely give you a wedding of the century, making you the happiest person in the world." I could hear these confessions almost every night he got drunk. They used to sound sweet, but now they just make me feel sick. I forced myself to suppress the urge to vomit and turned my face away from him. Aaron sensed my stiffness and looked up at me in confusion. But soon, he let out a light laugh and unsteadily pulled a jewelry box from his pocket. Opening it, a delicate, sparkling diamond necklace lay in the palm of his hand. "Look, do you like it? I have seen this necklace, there is only one in the entire city." When this necklace was auctioned off, it even made the local news. I didn't expect that the person who bought it was Aaron. Being drunk made him unsteady on his feet, but that didn't stop him from seriously putting the necklace on me. Aaron carefully tucked my long hair behind my ear, trying hard to control his trembling hands. He gently placed the necklace around my neck, saying, "My love, I want to give you the most beautiful things in this world. I will love you forever, and I want you to always be happy." After saying that, he pulled me into his arms. This embrace held no distractions, only an overflowing love. But this love is not pure, it also reminds me of that pile of unsightly photos. The heart's delayed awareness of the sour, suffocating ache almost leaves me breathless. The tears I had finally managed to hold back fell once again. I don't understand why he could be entangled with his secretary while loving me. I don't know how I was pulled onto the bed by him, softly coaxed to sleep. I only knew that the next day, when I got up, he had already prepared a full table of breakfast. A sandwich without mayonnaise, black rice porridge, my favorite strawberries, and he also prepared a portion of my favorite fried ribs for me. He remembered my preferences clearly. When he saw me get up, Aaron quickly brought over a cup of warm water. "You must be hungry. Drink some water to settle your stomach first, then hurry up and wash up so we can eat." after a simple wash, he gave me a kiss. I wanted to dodge, but I couldn't escape. His kiss was both fiery and cold, yet it left me feeling numb. He saw that I didn't move and cautiously reached out his hand to hold mine. He led me to the dining table, and he habitually watched me finish my porridge. When I was having stomach pains a while ago, he often took care of me like this. I caught a glimpse of Erin's eyes filled with affection and hesitated for a moment before speaking. "Erin, your secretary contacted me yesterday. She said she prepared a big gift for me." "What does she mean by that?" With a bang, the ladle Erin used to serve me soup fell back into the bowl, and a momentary blankness crossed his expression. But he quickly returned to the appearance of a good husband, placing the soup back on my table and ruffling my hair. "Wife, don't listen to what she says. It's her who is restless, I'll take care of it." After saying that, he turned around and went into the study with his phone. Erin appeared calm, but the fleeting hint of guilt in his eyes was caught by me. He quickly sent messages on his phone, and I noticed his hand was trembling. He was scared, afraid that things would be exposed. Erin took his phone into the study, and I followed him to the door. I pressed my ear against the door, and after a while, Erin's restrained voice came through from the other side. "Maya, did I give you the right to show up in front of my wife? What kind of relationship do you think we have? You better think it over. This is my first and last warning to you." The fury in Erin's eyes was about to explode. But shortly after his voice fell silent, it seemed that the person across from him said something. Perhaps Maya had provoked Erin. He quieted down, and in the end, all that remained was a gritted teeth remark, "You wait for me." When Erin came out, I had already returned to the dining table. He hurried over, wrapped his arms around my head, and gave me a kiss. I find him a bit disgusting, but it's not time to fall out yet. He picked up the coat from the back of the chair and walked out, his voice low and hoarse, wrapped in a layer of emotion. "Honey, remember to finish your breakfast. There's a contract to sign at the company, I'll be back soon." After Erin left, my body, which I had been suppressing, could no longer hold back and began to tremble violently. Tears flowed uncontrollably down my cheeks. If yesterday's events could still be deceived into thinking they were a composite photo, today is complete despair. This relationship is probably coming to an end. When Erin came back, it was evening. Just like before, he brought the cake I liked to eat. But after I saw it, I almost threw up. The gift he gave me constantly reminds me of what Erin did today. In the evening, I said I was tired and had no appetite to eat. Erin fell asleep holding me, without thinking much. The next day, while he was out at work, I threw the cake he gave me into the recycling bin. Tonight, he still came home very late. Even if tomorrow is my graduate school graduation ceremony, as a model future husband, Erin has always done a great job with his facade. He got up early in the morning to prepare food for me. After eating, he sent me back to school and then kept running around me, handling various matters. He attracted the attention of a large crowd from the moment he appeared. Everyone was talking about this young, wealthy senior who was able to start his own company in his 20s. But his gaze was fixed solely on me, focused and affectionate. He acted as if, apart from me, he had no interest in anything else. If it weren't for having seen those photos, I might have been immersed in the world he created, believing that I was loved only by him. I turned my head to avoid his gaze, forcing a bitter smile at the corner of my mouth. The graduation ceremony had just begun when Erin's phone started ringing incessantly. It was his personal phone, and only a few people knew his private number. Even fewer would be desperate enough to keep calling him. When the phone rang for the 10th time, he glanced at me apologetically and turned to the corner to make the call. Erin's attitude when he answered the phone wasn't great. After a few soothing words from the other side, his impatient mood was calmed. He hurriedly hung up the phone and returned to my side. Erin leaned in close and whispered, "Honey, I'm going to take care of the wedding dress photos. My assistant will stay here, so if you need anything, just tell him. I've transferred some money into your bank account. After we finish taking the graduation photos, let's have a meal with friends to relax. I still need to confirm some details with the wedding planning company, so I won't be able to accompany you for the graduation photos. Aaron disregarded my response and hurriedly left after speaking. I stared at his departing figure, unable to shift my gaze for a long time. Aaron thought the excuse he found was flawless, but now, I don't believe a word he said. Just as I finished taking the group photo, I suddenly received a text from Maya, "Come home, there's a surprise." Seeing the news, my brows furrowed. Maya, she is eager to rise to power. Then, she sent another message, "Don't you want to see another side of Aaron? Hurry up, I'll open the door for you." The sky in December wasn't particularly cold, yet I felt as if I had fallen into an ice cave, breaking out in a cold sweat. The 1-hour journey home from school was somehow compressed into 30 minutes. Knowing full well that this scene would be difficult to bear, I still wanted to get to the bottom of it. When I returned home and caught a glimpse of the scene inside through the deliberately opened crack of the door, my pupils suddenly dilated. Breath and heartbeat seemed to stop at that moment, eyes uncontrollably fixed on the two entwined figures. From the bedroom and living room on the second floor, to the entrance of my studio. "Aaron, I want to try the art studio," Maya's playful voice called out. Aaron scolded, "No, don't mess up my wife's place." Maya was persistent, her hands wrapped around Aaron's neck, using a sultry tone to entice him. "But I want to try, Aaron. I brought a lot of things today. The studio has good lighting, so you can see better. And you can paint on me however you like." Aaron's expression changed for a second, just a second, as desire replaced reason. He picked up Maya and entered my studio. My heart, which had been hanging in suspense, finally died. Stumbling out of Aaron's house, I crouched on the ground and vomited. I don't know how long I sat on the ground in a daze, until my phone rang again, pulling me back to reality. It's still Maya, so eager to force me to leave in this way. I'm afraid Aaron hasn't given her anything good, and she's getting desperate. The tone of the message was filled with provocation. "See clearly, the dream of the wealthy has ended. Now that you're awake, just roll away, the only one who can stand by Aaron's side is me." On the way, I replied to Maya with trembling hands, "Since you want to rise so badly, help me leave, and the position of Mrs. Aaron will be yours." Maya is very resourceful. As soon as she heard I was leaving, she bought me a plane ticket and arranged the itinerary. She gave me the opportunity to study under an artist, and the plane was set to take off a week later. It was as if she was afraid I would regret it. But this plane ticket was intercepted by Aaron before it even reached my hands. "Wife, you're going out to have fun, why didn't you tell me? The company has stabilized a lot recently, and I have time to go with you. I'm not at ease with you going out alone." Without waiting for him to finish, I interrupted coldly, "I didn't go out, I bought the wrong ticket. Just throw it away for me." Regrettably watching the torn-up plane ticket, the plan to leave had to be restructured. Although I explained, my change in attitude was too obvious, still making Aaron feel uneasy. He began to put aside his work and devoted himself entirely to taking care of me at home, doing everything personally. Even when my gastritis flared up and I got up in the middle of the night to vomit, he didn't mind at all cleaning up the mess. Wife, unknowingly, we have been together for 5 years. From the moment I first met you, I knew you would only ever be my bride. I truly love you, more than anyone else. Wife, don't listen to the voices from the outside, just believe in me." Aaron anxiously tightened his hold on me, afraid that I might leave. I met Aaron when I was 8 years old. At that time, my adoptive father was drunk and abusive. I angered him, and he threw me into the river, intending to drown me. It was Aaron who passed by and pulled me up with a group of friends. He saw that I was pitiful and brought a group of friends to my house every day to keep an eye on whether my adoptive father would hit me. He even had his dad send a bodyguard, but as soon as his adoptive father made a move, the bodyguard acted first. Although the adoptive father was angry, he could not provoke the Fu family, and after a few times, he became more restrained. I no longer have any external injuries on me, and he has always treated me well since we were young. If there are good things, they will definitely be given to me, and that's how we naturally ended up together. We got engaged in our sophomore year, and if it weren't for Maya, I would truly believe that he still loved me just as he always had. He whispered sweet nothings in my ear, but I lowered my dim gaze and did not respond. Pretending to be asleep, at least I can't interact with him as if nothing had happened. The next morning, Aaron was ready to take me to see the wedding venue. To avoid chatting with him on the way, I closed my eyes and pretended to doze off. Aaron thought I was just feeling unwell and instinctively wanted to hold my hand. But before he could reach out, I stuffed my hands into my pockets. He was taken aback, opened his mouth but no sound came out, and the car, which had been moving at a steady pace, suddenly swerved sharply. The immense inertia threw us out together, and as soon as I rolled onto the ground, Aaron pulled me up tightly into his embrace. Using his body as a shield, his expression was severe, his face darker than ever. I raised my eyes to the rearview mirror and indeed saw two large trucks in pursuit. I stretched out my hand to protect his head, but he took it down and held it against his chest. "Be good, don't move, I'm fine, just lie down." As soon as the sound fell, with a bang, the car window shattered into pieces. Shards of glass fell onto Aaron, leaving streaks of blood on his once clean face and neck. The blood that overflowed even splattered onto my face. The next second, another impact struck the car, and Aaron's head collided with an unknown object. Aaron kept protecting me as I collapsed onto him and was taken to the hospital. He was scheduled for a series of examinations, and aside from some bruises, he only had a mild concussion. The feeling of having survived a disaster still leaves me somewhat dazed. After quickly thanking the doctor, I returned to Aaron's side to take care of him. "Wife, I'm really fine, don't worry about me anymore." "But you must have been scared, right?" "I'm sorry, it's my fault for dragging you into this. I promise this is the last time." Looking at Aaron on the hospital bed, his pale face marked with unhealed bloodstains, he was still blaming himself. My once silent heart stirred once again, and I was certain that Aaron still loved me. It was just that this love was mixed with a lot of dirt. I caught a glimpse of the phone that had been vibrating under his weight, and I forced a smile. Then, I made an excuse to leave, saying I needed to go back to get some clean clothes. After leaving the ward, I didn't walk away but stood by the next room waiting. I only approached the door after Maya appeared, as expected. "Go find out which family has set their sights on Cindy," as if I were already dead. "I can only wait for 2 days at most, after 2 days, they must pay the price." Then, Maya's voice reached my ears. "Aaron, the hospital is quite exciting, why refuse? Miss Cindy has already driven home and won't be back for a while, so let me keep you company. This time, you can play with me however you like, okay?" The sound of torn fabric responded to her. Aaron cursed softly a few times and pulled her up from the ground. Soon, the room was filled with soft, rustling cries. My already tense nerves completely snapped under the sounds of sulking and angry roars. The rekindled love was utterly shattered in that moment. Aaron had been hospitalized for half a month. By the time he was discharged, our wedding date had also arrived. The wedding was grand, with an overwhelming number of details to manage before and after. Aaron insists on not letting me worry, yet he busies himself with everything. Only when I am putting on makeup do I have time to come and take a look. "Whether it's beautiful or not, whether you like it or not, this wedding dress was designed by a friend of mine, and it absolutely deserves you. At today's wedding, we will witness each other's most beautiful selves and then vow to be together forever." When it came to being together forever, joy and obsession shone in Aaron's eyes. I didn't answer, just staring at the exquisitely adorned woman in the mirror, remaining silent for a long time. Wearing the wedding dress I had longed for years, I should have felt happy. But now, I only feel it as a shackle. Aaron thought it was a surprise and was momentarily stunned, affectionately ruffling my hair. "All right, husband, I'll go check the details one last time. See you in a bit." He kissed my cheek and cheerfully pushed the door open to leave. As soon as Aaron left, the staff in the room erupted in excitement. "Miss Cindy, you are just too beautiful. You will absolutely be the most stunning bride. I dare say, in all my years in this profession, I've never seen a groom as deeply in love as Aaron. Miss Cindy, you are so lucky. You will definitely make the news. Aaron's affection and your beauty will make every married woman envious. According to Aaron's plans, this will surely be a wedding for the ages, and when you make your entrance, flowers will fall from the sky. I couldn't hear a word of the leader's praise, only managing to maintain a forced smile. I knew I wouldn't be getting married. The object of envy, the most beautiful bride, would definitely not be me. I don't want to spend my whole life feeling jealous, sad, hurt, and broken because of him, trapped in emotions forever. Even if he is Aaron. Most of the guests have entered the venue. I made an excuse to send the staff out and waited alone in the dressing room for 10 minutes. Maya arrived, her bridal makeup already done. As soon as she walked in, she excitedly stared at me. I stood up and handed her the wedding dress that I had long since taken off. She smiled even wider, slipping it on without even looking. The plane ticket is in my bag, don't worry, I bought several plane tickets, and there are people on each flight. Aaron won't be able to find you for a while. There's also a bank card in the bag with $500,000 in it, take it. Once I'm settled, I'll give you more. The demand is that you never come back again. You should hurry and leave, the wedding is about to start. The wedding music began to play, and Maya covered her face with a white veil, lifting her skirt and lowering her head as she walked out amidst the support of the crowd. Her steps were very firm, showing no signs of hesitation or guilt. I watched her silhouette, yet I could see a hint of innocence in it. Perhaps even now, she still believes that Aaron loves her too. Maya believes that if the bride were to be her, Aaron would not dismantle his identity in front of so many guests for the sake of his reputation. She also thinks that without me, the mistress of the Fu family would only be her. I didn't shatter her dreams, I just took her things and changed into her clothes to blend in with the crowd after she left. As I walked from the backstage to the lobby, I lowered my head and quickly passed by. But when I reached the door, my footsteps uncontrollably came to a halt. I turned my head and took one last look at the man shining brilliantly under the stage lights. At this moment, he joyfully curled the corners of his mouth, eagerly gazing at the slowly opening door. The grand door slowly opened, and the bride, whom everyone had been eagerly awaiting, gradually appeared, causing an instant hush to fall over the crowd. Why does this feel different from what I saw before? The wedding dress doesn't fit, it can't be a last-minute change, right? Keep your voice down, I can see Aaron's not looking well. In the arena of 100 people, aside from Maya, who was immersed in her own world on stage, the faces of the others were not looking good. Especially Aaron, he stared at Maya with gritted teeth. Why you? What about my wife, Cindy? Maya didn't care at all, she stepped forward, walking up to Aaron. What Cindy? I'm the bride, Aaron. Without waiting for him to finish, Aaron pushed her out. He glared with bloodshot eyes at the bodyguard standing below the stage and roared, "What are you standing there for? What do you think I pay you for? Go find someone now." As soon as the bodyguard left, Maya stepped forward and hugged Aaron. "Honey, don't look for Cindy anymore, she's gone. It's our wedding now, let's hurry and go through the process." Aaron heard her voice, and his pupils suddenly widened. He suddenly grabbed her neck in disbelief. "Aaron, with so many people, what are you doing?" Aaron's originally rosy complexion instantly turned a shade of ashen gray, shock and sorrow overlapping. His body trembled uncontrollably, as if bearing the weight of an earth-shattering event. "What do you mean Cindy is gone? What exactly did you do? Did you marry her? Have you even looked at yourself to see if you're worthy? How dare you compare yourself to Cindy when you're someone who shamelessly offers your body as a bargaining chip? Haven't I told you not to mess with Cindy? I'm giving you one last chance, hand Cindy over immediately, or I will make you wish you could live and wish you could die." He stumbled for a moment, yet his hand still gripped Maya tightly. As her face turned purple and she was about to suffocate, Aaron suddenly kicked her hard in the stomach. The force of the kick sent Maya flying several meters away. The purple face immediately turned pale, and Aaron held his head. After a few uncomfortable shakes, I knew this was a symptom of a concussion that hadn't fully healed. Aaron, what are you pretending to be so deep about? Didn't you raise me? Didn't you give me hope? You were the one who cheated first, and when Cindy found out the truth and left, isn't that your fault? Why don't you blame yourself? What right do you have to push all the responsibility onto me? Aaron's eyes were blood red, and it would not be an exaggeration to say that he resembled a vengeful spirit come to claim a life from the underworld. Maya, you're fucking asking for it. Why can't you just be calm? Why did you have to let her find out? Why did you have to ruin my family? My Cindy is gone, what the hell do you want me to do? In the end, Aaron completely lost his mind after the bodyguard signaled that no one was found. He smashed the wedding venue with a heart-wrenching roar, overturning the wine table. He picked up a bottle of red wine from the table and hurled it at Maya. The sound of shattering glass mixed with screams, and the wedding was thrown into complete chaos. Guests hurriedly left, fearing for their own safety. I withdrew my gaze and blended into the crowd as I made my way out. Aaron's concussion hadn't healed and he was further agitated. After spitting out a mouthful of blood, he fainted. Finally, both Maya and I were carried away by the ambulance. I blended into the crowd, watching as Aaron, pale-faced and slumped on the stretcher, was carried away with blood at the corner of his mouth. Until he disappeared from sight, I headed straight to the airport. If nothing unexpected happens, this will be the last time I see Aaron. Holding the plane ticket that Maya gave me, I boarded the flight to another country. The flight lasted a total of 13 hours. When I got off the plane, my phone was filled with hundreds of missed calls and thousands of messages. It's all messages from Aaron, honey, please let me explain. What Maya said isn't true. I only have you, I haven't cheated. Maya is just talking nonsense, she's not in her right mind, so don't listen to her. I have no relationship with her, everything is just her imagination. Honey, please send me your location and wait for me to pick you up, okay? I'm begging you, please don't ignore me, I'm really scared. Honey, I have a headache. I don't have the patience to read through long explanations and please. Also mixed in his messages were 2 texts from Maya. Cindy, you promised me, you can't come back. Aaron cheated, he slept with me for a year and now he wants to find you to dump me. No way, I can't leave no matter what, I will definitely entangle with him to the end. Yesterday's past became blurred in the face of exhaustion. I don't want to deal with how Aaron and Maya are entangled. Right now, I just want to settle everything and then rest well. I broke my phone card and threw it into the trash can, then headed to a nearby hotel. After checking in, I indulged myself and slept for a whole day and night. I reluctantly got up after sleeping until my head felt heavy, my feet light, and my whole body was soft and numb. Maya gave me $500,000, and the pocket money Aaron used to give me adds up to several million. So my life isn't simple, I rented a small villa. I settled myself in and then contacted the oil painting teacher that Maya had introduced to me. In a foreign land, I not only did not feel uncomfortable, but rather felt quite relaxed. Everything that once caused me pain is left in the past. The chaos in my heart has been calmed by the rare tranquility I have found. I immersed myself wholeheartedly in learning under the oil painting teacher. Time flew by during the study, and after just a brief introduction, half a year had passed. On this day, as soon as I arrived at the studio, I felt an extremely somber atmosphere. Teacher Lou's deep gaze was cast upon me. Clearing his throat, he brought the phone in front of me. I took the phone in confusion, but my pupils suddenly constricted as I saw the screen clearly. The video is from the surveillance and is not clear. However, under the blurry shot, Aaron's cold and gloomy expression is still evident. He grabbed Maya, who was wearing a hospital gown, by the neck and pressed her, emaciated and on the brink of death, against the window. She pushed half of her body out, last chance to say where the person is. Otherwise, you have no reason to live. Maya kept slapping his arm, signaling him to let go. But Aaron remained unmoved. Let me go. Are you going to kill someone, you madman? Aaron smirked, his eyes narrowed. There was a deadness in his gaze. Anyway, I can afford the loss. Maya revealed my position. In the end, she said it, or perhaps she knew that Aaron could really go for the kill. In the end, she was taken away by Aaron's man, gasping for breath. I glanced at the time the video was sent. It was just after midnight. Now it's 2 in the afternoon, and if nothing unexpected happened, Aaron should have arrived. After thanking the teacher, I didn't stay in the classroom and left directly from the back, carrying my bag. I didn't dare to go home. I originally wanted to find a hotel to hide for a while. As soon as I stepped out of the teaching building, I was enveloped by a wave of warmth from behind. Cindy, I finally found you. I finally found you. Do you know how long I've been looking for you? Half a year. I haven't had a good night's sleep in these 6 months. Every time I close my eyes, I fall into a panic of losing you. I can't even dare to close my eyes. I really miss you so much, Cindy. I was really wrong. Maya was just an accident. I promise there won't be another one, okay? Please believe me, come back with me. Aaron held me tightly, squeezing my waist painfully. He lay on my shoulder, his burning tears soaking through the thick fabric and into my skin. Cindy, Maya has been sent to the mental hospital by me. She won't be coming out. There will never be anyone standing between us again. Give me one more chance, just one last chance, okay? Come back with me. I've had the wedding venue redecorated. This time let's have a proper wedding, alright? Aaron's voice could be described as humble, a stark contrast to the lofty position he usually held. For the first time, he lowered his noble head before someone else. But I had no motivation at all. I even felt numb and sarcastic, tearing away the arms that bound me. I turned around and met Aaron's gaze. It had been 6 months since we last saw each other. He has lost a lot of weight, his cheeks are sunken, and his eyes are bulging. He looks like a completely different person compared to the spirited figure he was 6 months ago, but his change. Still, it failed to move me. No, I don't want to either. Do you think that now that you've dealt with Maya, we can go back to how things were? Aaron, stop shirking responsibility. This relationship has rotted in your hands, and I can't accept it. You can't go back either. Now that you're awake, let's go home. I turned to leave, but Aaron grabbed me first. He was trembling all over, his eyes filled with fear and rejection. He shook his head and said no, even kneeling down on the spot while holding my waist. Cindy, give me one chance, just one, for the sake of the 5 years we've been together, for the sake of the time I saved you when we were kids, I beg you, this is the last time. The gazes of the people passing by were all fixed on us. I didn't want to be watched, and I certainly didn't want to compromise. Aaron, I gave you a chance. When Maya sent me the photos, I gave you the opportunity to explain. You told me you were an unsettled person, but then you turned around and were drawn to her photos. At the graduation ceremony, you said you had something to do, yet you brought me back home, into our bedroom, into my studio. At this moment, I still hold on to a sliver of fantasy about you. I still can't bear to leave. But you protected me from the car accident, yet at the moment I was moved, you went and made love to her in the hospital. How can you expect me to forgive you? I really can't do it. I can't help but see those naked photos every time I look at you, all the images of you and her replay in my mind frame by frame. I really can't forget, Aaron, let's just let each other go. Aaron fell silent, only crying with a heart-wrenching intensity. I originally thought he would leave after knowing my attitude. I didn't expect Aaron to stay for another half-month. For the past half-month, he has been following me every day. Acting as if nothing had happened, he moved into the house next door and then cooked meals to bring to my school. Genuine concern speaks of memories, trying to make me overlap him with the boy in my recollections once more. Cindy, your favorite fried ribs are ready, eat them while they're hot. Cindy, do you remember when you were little, you were always bullied, and even when you were bullied, you wouldn't say a word, so I had to run to your classroom and question everyone one by one. Cindy, in high school, I once made a wish under the wishing tree that the other half of my life could only be you. When will this wish come true? As Aaron spoke of the past, his eyes were always filled with longing and nostalgia. I, however, did not stop Aaron from doing futile work. It was just that he caused misunderstandings by coming to my school repeatedly, and the third class was interrupted. No matter how good my temper was, it was gone. I put down the paintbrush and pulled Aaron, who was delivering food, away. Aaron, I am not happy. Everything you do troubles me and makes me irritable. Your presence will never allow me to be truly happy. I didn't speak kindly, taking the gift box from my pocket and placing it in his hands. It was the necklace he had given me before, and now I was returning it to him. Aaron, go back. We're really done. This time Aaron remained silent, standing rigidly in place. He looked at the necklace in his hand, his eyes reddening. His face was deathly pale, his lips trembling, in what could be called a hot summer. Yet he was shaking all over, nearly unable to stand. He opened and closed his mouth several times, finally pressing it into a straight line. We stood in silence for a long time, long enough for Aaron to finally collapse to the ground. I just heard his voice, I'm sorry. I know that Aaron understood. He once said that my happiness was the meaning of his existence. Now I am unhappy, and his existence has lost its meaning. He knows that we can never go back. Watching Aaron leave alone, I felt a sigh of relief in my heart. Without his entanglement and obstruction, my future will be filled with brightness.